terrified, devastated.
That is how 2014 feels so far to DELORES SIRIANNI. Out of work for more than 27 weeks, she no longer gets her unemployment benefit of $375 a week.
How do I feed my 4 children? How do I feed the dogs, my husband, everything? And it's so overwhelming that you don't know where to start.
She is just one of the 1.3 million Americans who no longer get government help because the president and Congress couldn't agree on how to extend them, so they went on vacation. Now back, the Obama administration is making the emotional argument.
Today is the day that 1.3 million Americans start going to their mailbox and find that the check that they expected to get today is not there. The check that is a temporary lifeline for families who are facing long-term unemployment, a check that puts food on their table and perhaps the gas in their car they need to drive to interview for a new job.
That argument wasn't enough to convince the democratically controlled Senate. They pulled the bill on Monday because they didn't have enough support. That makes it much less likely to pass the Republican-controlled House of Representatives. Economists argue the country has never cut this benefit with such high long-term unemployment.
Because the recovery has been so weak, because wages have been virtually stagnant and the labor market has struggled to get back to its potential, a lot of people, middle class, lower middle class and below, are still struggling.
That is the argument that President Barack Obama is expected to focus on this year, a growing wealth gap, hoping that restores his poll numbers, which have plummeted.
He missed the year when a second-term president usually produces the most. It's the first year of the second term. You need some momentum from that year in order to carry forward for at least one more year before you turn into a complete lame duck. The president missed that year. I don't see how he regenerates it.
He'll need to if he has any hope of tackling the rest of his agenda: immigration reform, deciding what to do about the National Security Agency and its spying programs, and pending cuts to food aid. All things that will define his legacy, but more importantly for people like SIRIANNI, how she lives in 2014. Patty Culhane, Al Jazeera, Washington.